Great news for my Longhorn Nation. All right, y'all know it's a big season coming up, man, in Austin, Texas. And y'all need y'all quarterback or QB1 to play well in Arch Manning. Now, the news from Inside Texas via On3 is he's out of a walking boot following his January foot surgery. Now, why is this important, y'all? This is very important because, remember, spring ball is right around the corner, y'all. Spring ball is literally less than 2 months away. They're literally going to probably start practice here soon in March. So, the big determinant is, will Arch Manning practice? Will he be in uniform taking reps and things like that? Or does Steve Sarkisian and the Longhorns decide not to obviously risk all that and just save him for the for the summer and obviously for the fall? That's going to be something to kind of keep an eye on, to say the least. Now, he came on last season, as I told everybody. He got better and better as the season wore on, and he really was a problem. You've seen it in the Michigan game, what he can do. Now, this year, he has weapons galore. He got a good running back duo in Malik Brown and obviously Hollywood Smothers. And then he got a true wide receiver one in Cam Coleman. But the key will be his health. And I think if you are Texas, you have to monitor and see. What I would do is I will allow him to test it in practice. Probably don't play him during the spring game, but allow him to get at least some of the reps, obviously non-contact. Let him get some throws in and see where he is later in the spring, right? That might not be early on in March. That might be later. That might be early April. Just let him get the reps so he can continue that trajectory that we know that he wants to be on, that we know that he can obviously achieve. Because, again, it's a big year for Texas, and I think this is a CFP or bust type of a year for the Longhorns. They got to make it deep into the postseason or even just to the playoffs in general, I think. Now, Steve Sarkisian's job is not on the line, but again, if this is going to be a successful season, if we're going to consider, like we were last year, Arch Manning being a top number 1 overall pick, they have to have a good year, and he has to have a good year. Again, it's all possible because, remember, this was the first year he actually started. Remember, he was a backup for 2 years before he even got a chance. Got a couple game reps in, but it wasn't against top competition. Now he will play top competition from the start of the season all the way to the end, and will have Ohio State in his building this upcoming year in Austin. So this will be a great year for Arch. And again, if I'm the Texas staff, I don't want to overblow this. I don't want to do the most. I don't want to do too much. I want to do just right with my quarterback because this is the future and the present currently constructed right now. Likely going after this year, you got Diabell, you got KJ Lacey, you got the players behind. It's good to get them reps too because you never know worst comes to worst. So, again, to wrap up, if I am Texas, I'm going to allow him to get some reps. I'm not allowing him to participate in the spring game. I'm going to allow him to get some of the practice reps with the first team, of course. See how he is feeling. Not too much, you know what I'm saying? And allow him to continue to project forward. And then you ramp it up in the summer and you ramp it up in fall camp. That is exactly what I would do if I was Texas, if I was Coach Sarkisian, if I was the offensive coordinator. We need number 16 next year so we can ball out and we can do what we need to do and achieve what we need to achieve. Period. So if I'm the Longhorns, that's the obviously philosophy I'm going to adopt, and I'm not going to do too much. I need number 16 next year.